Hey guys, it's Jasmine, and today we're going to be making bubble letters. So before we really get started here, I'm going to tell you what you need. You need paper, a Sharpie, a drawing pencil, which is also a graphite pencil, an eraser, crayons, and colored pencils. So before we really dive into this, I'm going to kind of tell you guys what this is kind of inspired by. It's inspired by graffiti and street art. And graffiti is a type of street art. So graffiti is maybe like a mural, if you've seen a mural, which is a painting on the side of a building. That's considered street art. And graffiti is often connected to and associated with word art. So that's what we're going to be making here. And we're going to be doing it with our names, or at least I am. If you want to make your name or maybe a family member's name, you can. Your pet's name maybe. But I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a nice trick for this. So I'm going to do one of my nicknames, which is Jazz, J-A-S, just like my name, Jasmine. So to get started with this, you don't have to go right in and, be really decorative and kind of fancy with your lettering. We're going to start out basic, and then we're going to kind of work our way up to get a little bit more fancy and fun. So you have your sheet of paper here. My name, big. So J-A-S. I'm going to kind of do it a little bit lightly because we're going to end up erasing that part. So around this, I'm going to make my bubble. So there's my J. Here's my A. Again, I'm kind of just working around the letters that I drew, and then I'm going to go back and erase. And here is my S. I think S's are the hardest, one of the hardest letters to do with bubble letters, and this trick kind of makes it a little bit easier. So now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to erase the first letters I did, so that then I will only have my bubble letters. And you can kind of go back in and touch things up if you want. It's all a process. Do a little bit of touch up. A little bit more erasing. There's my J. There's my A. And there's my bubble letters. So now it's time to add a color, make it a little bit more fun and kind of like what you would want for your artwork. So I'm going to make my background different too. I'm going to use patterns and stuff, which you don't have to. You can do one big solid thing if you want. But I'm going to kind of make a giant Y to split my paper into 3 parts. So there's my Y right there. And I'm going to do each of my 3 sections a little bit different, and then I'm going to make my letters different too. I'm going to mostly use my favorite colors, which are pink, blue, and purple. I'm going to also use both colored pencils and crayons. Okay. So for my letters, I'm going to do a gradient on each one, which basically means I'm going to make them each kind of 2 different colors. I'm going to blend them into one another. It's just like with a lot of street art, I want this to be colorful and full of life. This is my purple. I'm gonna kind of fade in. I'm gonna color a little bit lighter so that I can take my blue and lightly go over that and then color a little bit darker. And that's how I've made a gradient. So it's blue on top and purple on bottom, and the colors kind of run into one another in the middle. I'm gonna start coloring a little bit lighter, just like I did with my J, so that I can bring in a new color, which is pink. So my pink is gonna kind of blend into and fade into my blue here. It's like that, and just like that. I'm also trying not to have too much white space because I want everything to be colorful and colored in. And like this, I'm gonna have pink on the bottom. And if you want to do different things with your letters, like for the background, I'm going to do kind of patterns in my backgrounds. If you want to do that for your letters instead, you can do that too. You can color your letters however you want to color them. They can be just one color if you want them to be one color. Whatever you want your bubble letters to be. Go a little bit lighter so I can fade my pink into another color, make my gradient. Purple will be the color that I fade my pink into. Going a little bit lighter so I can fade them together. And again, trying not to have too much white space. I want to make sure I color in most of my areas. And there's my S. So for my background, well, actually first, I'm going to grab my Sharpie and I'm going to outline each of my letters. And you can do that at the beginning if you want. I could have did mine at the beginning, but I didn't. But this is just going to make my letters stand out a little bit more. There we go. Now for my background, I'm also going to go ahead and outline the Y shape I made. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker since I just accidentally drew outside of it. That's fine. And there's one line. There's two. And here's the bottom part of my Y. There we go. And erase any pencil lines too. Okay, now I can work on my background. So for my background, like I said before, I'm going to kind of do a lot of patterns. So one of them, which is just an idea that I'm going to do, you can do it too, or you can do a different shape, but I'm going to take circles and make some big circles in here, some little circles, just like bubbles. And that's going to be my pattern. I'm going to do all of them different colors, maybe some pink. Let's start with pink. There's some pink circles, and do some blue ones, and take my crayon here. This blue is slightly different than my colored pencil blue. And there's my last color. So just like with my letters, I'm gonna also do an outline on each of my shapes. I'm going to keep my background in this area white. And I'll actually do that for all of my backgrounds, which you don't have to. If you want to color your backgrounds, you can. But I'm going to leave mine pretty white because I want a lot of the focus and the color to be concentrated on my letters here. So for my next pattern, I'm going to keep my Sharpie. I'm going to draw some squiggly shapes. There's my pink. I'm going to take my crayon in blue again. There's my second background. And then for my last background, let's see. I'm gonna do oval shapes. I'm gonna start with my pink again. And yellow. Okay, there you have it. this is my name art, and I hope you guys also made your own that you really like. You guys can make more, you guys can make your own, you can make some of your pets, your family members. And once again, we learned about two big words here. We learned about graffiti and street art, which graffiti is a type of street art. You might see graffiti in like a mural, a painted side of the building, or sometimes even like on the street. And street art is just that, it's just art that is on the street, buildings, it's out in public, it's not necessarily like sculptures possibly, but you guys might see them all the time. And I hope you guys make more of these. Like I said, you can make them of your pets, your family members, more for your own. You can change it up, you can change your colors, the way that you do your background, and I hope you guys do just that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.